Hey, my loves, welcome to Tea Time with TT Toya podcast, where me and a couple of my friends discussed everything from spiritual journeys, different spiritual paths, life, love, who we are as women, and on this journey, you name it, we're talking about it. So come on in. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that the next time I upload, you get to be in on this. To Tea Time with TT's podcast, where we talk about a myriad of different subjects and just chat it up because I want to get to know what you guys think and how you guys feel about this particular subject. So we're going to go ahead and get into it, honey. Okay, first of all, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this is your first time coming in, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Okay, follow us, comment on our YouTube channel, and come in and just have a good old time. Go into our Instagram, comment there as well, honey. Just come on in because this is a safe space for you, for me, for all of my sisters and people of color or otherwise. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started. So today I want the subject to be about why I left church, and I want to know why you guys left church if you have, and if you have not, I want to know why you've been thinking about it. I mean, comment below on this in the YouTube channel, comment in the Instagram post that I'm gonna make after this, wherever it is. Just give us a little comment, a little shout, and let me know why it is that you felt like you wanted to leave church or why you're going to. Okay. So this is going to be a short little thing, honey. We're going to then make sure you got all the information to get in contact with us because we have some great interviews coming up, some great guests coming up, and it's just going to be dope. And I'm just so excited about it. Okay. The main purpose of me creating this podcast is to give you different walks of life, different walks of spirituality, different takes on things. And so that's exactly what we're going to do here, okay, for the remainder of this time. As I said before, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, honey, because you do not want to miss this, okay? So basically, the reason why I left church, I was about 17 when I decided to leave actual physical church, going into the church. I was about 17, mainly because the only time that I got filled with spirit, my whole life, I, am a psychic medium. I'm a tarot reader as well. I'm a teacher and things like that. And the only time that I would feel that I was at home was during praise and worship ministry, when everybody was shouting, that's when spirit would talk to me the most. Of course, yes, I had moments as I got older where the pastor was preaching and I was loving the message, but very early on I understood that you're supposed to take what applies and let the rest fly. But some people in different definite religions, they go by their text like it's like law. So for me it wasn't like that for church. I grew up, I was always into women and stuff like that. I'm also a lesbian and part of the LGBTQ community. Let me make sure I get it all. Woo, woo. Hey y'all, you know what I'm saying? So I've always been a part of that. So when those teachings would happen or all of that stuff and judgment happened, I was like not with it. That was like number one why it was an issue for me, because it's like, where are you guys judging the God that I know in a personal sense is not mean like that. So I had an issue with that, number one. So that was like a little off-putting, but I continued to go throughout my childhood, of course, because if you grew up black and your family was Christian, honey, you had to go to church. Okay, you had to go to church, and you was gonna catch these hands. They was gonna give you the hands. So I had to be very, 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 very careful with speaking my views on whether or not I wanted to go to church and stuff, honey. You just went, okay? But the consolation, you got some good Sunday dinner after that, honey. You got the best Kool-Aid, all right, and you got to dress up and be cute for the day, honey. So, I mean, it wasn't all bad. I went to vacation Bible school, honey. I went to, Sunday school. I went to I was in the choir. I was in the youth ministry. I was in the young adults choir, honey. I was in the Shekinah choir. I grew up Church of God in Christ. So I was Kojic, honey. Shout out to the Kojic people. There ain't no hate or no shade towards none of y'all. But, this is why I live. This is my personal account. I want you guys to, comment below and let me know why you stay or why you leave. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. No hate. Any negativity will be blocked because my block finger's strong, honey. We not playing that. But yeah, like I said, I grew up, very religious. Everybody on both sides of my family, dad's side and mom's side, a lot of them are ministers, prophetesses, bishops. My grandmother was a mother of the church. My mom is now a mother of the church and a missionary and a minister as well. So my entire family is deeply rooted in Christianity and religion, as well as spirituality. So growing up, when I was younger, my mom was shot. So I started off Baptist. Let's start there. So in Mississippi, I'm from Mississippi. The majority of the people there are Baptists. They're not necessarily Christian. I mean, holiness, as they would call it, Holiness Church or Pentecostal or Kojic or whatever. So I went to Baptist church and it was pretty cut and dry. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty cut and dry. It was like, okay, go to church, sing some old, Negro spirituals, sit there, listen to the pastor teach, be quiet. Don't act like you ain't got no sense because your grandma gonna pop you or your mama gonna pop you. Somebody gonna get you. That's one thing about them churches. It's gonna take a village and the village gonna whoop you if they have to. You know what I'm saying? But, basically I grew up in Baptist church. I was baptized in the Baptist church and stuff. My mom, when she decided that she wanted to get saved and stuff, she brought us to this Baptist church. I'm not sure if I can remember the name. It was so long ago. I was like really little when I got baptized. I probably want to say like 7 or 9. Matter of fact, I got baptized shortly before my mom got shot. So fast forward, most of my life as a child going to church. My mom got baptized, got us baptized. It was an amazing experience. It was a very spiritual experience for me. I started seeing spirits at about 5 years old. So then I was in the church in that aspect around 5 years old. A family member of mine, my cousins had been killed, and I was visited by their spirits before they transitioned all the way over. So that was like my first experience. And then my mom got shot when I was about 9 years old, like right in front of me, point blank range, things like that, in the chest. And so, of course, that was very traumatic. When she finally got out of ICU, which was about 4 months later, thank God she made it. And, and then we proceeded to move from Mississippi to New York, right? By this time I hadn't really met my grandmother at the capacity where I could remember her like my mom's mom. So I basically was getting to know like this whole other side of my family, right? In Mississippi, we run deep, honey. My family is deep in Mississippi. It's a lot of them. Okay. So we go to New York and now, we are meeting my mom's side of the family, my grandma, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, and things like that, which it was an amazing experience. But my grandmother was very, very, by the time I came across meeting her, like getting to know her, I was about 9 when we moved, and she was very deeply rooted in church by that time. She was very, very deeply rooted in church in Kojic. And so we proceeded to immediately go to church every Sunday, go to church for Bible study, go to church on Saturday, honey, go to church, go to the convocation, child, go to the damn the trip that they had in Vacation Bible School. So we went to the summer camp. Okay, we read the Bible for front and back 3 times. We did the blackouts. Y'all don't even understand. I used to fast. We did all of that. I still fast now. So I'm not saying that the teachings are all wrong and that or anything like that. But as time grew on, I got older. I'm now from 9 to 17. We are very heavy in church, my sister and I. My mom is still going through some things, of course, because after that big trauma, you're going to go through some things. So we were, at that time, she wasn't saved yet. She was still, out here cigarette toting, cigarette smoking, gun toting, cowgirling. Okay. So we was mainly with my grandmother when we went to church, rain, sleet, hail, or snow. It was not just me and my sister, it was my other cousins. All of us, we had to go. My uncle had 4 kids. My aunts, we all had to go. If you was at your grandma's house, you was going to go. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that was. So basically, we go on about our business and we go to church and we just enjoying it. I really did have fun as a child in church because of the lightness of it, the lightheartedness of it. You know what I mean? I didn't really know all of the politics and all the stuff that was going on at that time because I was young, So, fast forward to about 15. I'm a teen mom, right? My daughter's now 23. She's amazing. Shout out to Essence. Hey, boo, I love you, girl. She's 23. She's amazing. She's thriving. She has a career, and she's taking her time, and she's going to be a mom when she feels like she's ready. But at the time, I became pregnant at 15, and basically was treated like I was treated really bad. As you know, that's a disgrace, especially to a Christian family, for you not to wait until you're married to have sex, which we know, y'all. We know. Listen, we know in the church that ain't nobody waiting until they married to have sex. I'm just telling y'all that now. I'm sorry, my family members that probably want everybody to think that, especially PKs, preachers' kids. I know. So we wasn't all waiting, but you just don't get pregnant. That's the one that it's like, oh, now everybody got to act funky to you because you don't get pregnant at 15 and you go to church every Sunday. That's not what you do. So basically, I was treated funny by certain people. My pastor at the time was amazing. I miss Bishop White. My grandmother wasn't very mean to me about the situation. She was, sad, but she didn't, my grandmother didn't dilly-dally and that kind of stuff. She ain't coming to no baby shower. You get pregnant and you're not married. She not coming to the baby shower. Okay? She's not doing that. But when the baby's born, you bring the baby to her. She offered the baby back up to God. She essentially was the first person to christen all 4 of my daughters. I have 4 daughters, right? And she was like, like that for the family, the matriarch of the family. So, the church, talk junk about me, whatever. I had my daughter at 16. Still tried to go to school. I was working and things like that. Around 17, I was like, listen, I need to drop out because I got to go and get this money. You know what I'm saying? I got to take care of myself. 17, moved out, took care of myself, and I was still going to church, Probably not as much by this time because, of course, I'm now trying to build my life with myself and my daughter. And I would still do the fish fries with my grandmother for the church and the chocolate sales. Honey, I would still be at the job selling the chocolate for $1. All of that, right? And this particular guy made a statement, having all these kids and they ain't got no husband and all of that. And it was just like the straw that broke the camel's back for me, child. Because ain't nobody ever took care of my children but me, okay? I wasn't sitting over there like, I had the baby and dropped it off at grandma's house. If baby was with grandma got paid for babysitting. You understand? Things like that. So for that judgmental statement to be made, mind you, I'm already seeing a whole bunch of fuckery. You know what I'm saying? I'm in church every Sunday. I see all these dark spirits on folks jumping off of them. I see them being mounted by the Holy Spirit, but then they don't want to call it that. And, then I'm hearing praise and worship and spirit speaking to, God is telling me stuff about certain people and situations. And I'm hearing conversations because I've always been able to hear what people are saying and thinking and stuff. And I'm just hearing conversations. It was just too much. And I used to tell my grandmother, because my grandmother knew I was gifted like that. She was a church mother. She was very gifted as well. She really could have been an amazing prophetess, but she felt that she wanted to be of service in a different way, which I'm fine with. But she knew, and I was just telling her, like, I want to go, grandma. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she would tell me stuff like, don't let everybody pray for you. Don't be letting them folks touch on you. You don't want that stuff jumping off on you. And I know you see what I see. And, so we was always very close in that aspect, right? So I decided, now I had the conversation with her, and then I just kind of like fell off the face of the planet when it comes to the church. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm one of those. I was like one of those that just was like, you know what? Not gonna go. And if I go, my grandma asks me, or it's Easter. I'm one of them. I turn into one of them Christians. Every Easter, get dressed up, go, front like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been the best person on the planet, and dip and go eat me some good food. And I used to host Easter egg hunts at my house and stuff. That's what I used to do. But I would go at times, maybe to convocation, because I love music. That's how spirit speaks to me. I'm clairaudient as well, clairsentient. So I would go to the convocations and stuff like that and all of that. But I was not in there every day. I was not in there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I was not sending my kids to vacation Bible school, honey, because little do y'all know, I'm just telling y'all now, don't be mad at me, church children. That is not the most holiest place to be. Just because it's a bunch of church people, some of them kids out there be doing things they ain't got no business with each other. You know what I'm saying? So watch it. Just saying. So, I decided that it was best for me to leave. And that's okay, for everybody. But I felt like I had a more personal relationship with God than the people that were in there claiming to have a relationship with God. My grandmother raised all of us to really have a personal relationship with God. I'm talking about sitting down, prayer, meditation, fasting when you want something done, praying, writing your prayers down, manifesting those things, cleansing your house, praying over your house, casting things out of your house and your family, casting illnesses out of your loved ones and things like that. And I felt like I did not need to go to the temple when I am the temple. I don't need to go to the church house when I am the church house. I don't need to go looking for God in church when God is within me. So I've always had that. I miss little things like when we were growing up. My grandmother used to head the Kwanzaa. Like they used to celebrate Kwanzaa, which I thought was so much fun. They put us in dashiki, like she would sew all of our clothes because she had like 9 kids and not much resources. So she was really, really great at sewing. So she would sew our dashikis, wrap our hair up, and like we would do all of the different principles, African principles, and give gifts on that day and create gifts for each other. So that was amazing. But as we got older, of course, for whatever reason, the church stopped doing that program. So, I didn't get a chance to do that. I would have loved for my kids to experience those kinds of things. But as far as like the going to church and listening to everybody talk about each other and listening to people judge each other and all of that mess, I was like, yeah, I'll pass. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much why I left the church. Not for anything like as far as church hurt is concerned. I mean, I don't really place too much about what people think about me and stuff like that, but I do know a lot of family members that I saw be really hurt by, the church with judging them about being gay, judging them, it's okay to be gay if you the choir director, honey. They're going to act like they don't see it. If you the choir director, they're going to act like they don't see it. If you the head of the church fashion show, they're going to act like they don't see it. You understand? Let me tell you. So it was just too much selectivity going on for me. I didn't like that. I didn't like you selecting who it was that you accepted, judging who it was you felt like judging. You don't have the power to do that. And if you read the text that you live your life by, you know that it is a sin to judge or to offend other people. So I was like, yeah, no, this is not giving very much. I read the Bible and I live by it. This is not giving very much. I love everyone. I love my neighbor as I love, as we love myself. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't giving that. It wasn't giving any of the 10 commandments. It was actually violating almost all of them. So I was like, yeah, no. And then later on, as I got older and I awakened and I started walking in my calling and things like that, I started to learn more about the origin of Christianity and the origin of where the books even came from, the writings in the books and the teachings and stuff like that. But that's a whole nother show, honey. We're going to get into that another time. But I want you guys to comment down below why it is that you left church, or why it is that you feel like you've never really been into that kind of churchy thing, or even why it is that you feel like you want to stay even though you know that all of these politics are true. Because I know some church folks that be like, yeah, their favorite thing to say, honey, is, oh, well, the church, it's about going into the house of fellowship and being there with other church members, not about what the other people do. Because people going to do what they want to do. That don't have nothing to do. Listen, you right about that. And people going to church does not mean that they don't have a relationship with God or that they're not anointed or called to help people. That's if Jesus was alive right now, y'all be trying to kick him out his own daggone establishment. He wasn't in church. He didn't like religion. This is man-made. Religion is man-made. Salvation is God-given. And I need people to remember that these days. You know what I'm saying? People really need to remember that. But yeah, I just left because it just wasn't for me. And it's not to say that it's anything wrong with it for people who it are. Some people really need that structure. It did give me a lot of structure. And it did give me a lot of training. As far as how to deal with spirit and to walk in my calling and how to communicate with God and to know when I am being spoken to by the Most High and my ancestors and my spirit team and how to get things off of me. People need to understand there's some powerful root workers in church. I'm gonna say it again. There's some powerful root workers in church. Where we at it? Because my mama gonna kick my ass, but she ain't on here. I don't think she on here. So the other day, okay, so yesterday my sister called me, y'all. And she tell me that, mommy gonna tell me they said that she gotta write in her church, right? She gotta write down people's names, and they poured blessed oil over it and prayed over it, and then set it on fire to send it up to God. That's what she said. They told her to do at her church. That's how they do. They be prayer warriors by doing such a thing. And my sister says, because my mama know I'm a root worker. My sister know I'm a root worker, all of that, right? So my sister says, she said, ain't that a spell? Ain't that a spell? I said, yeah, it's kind of, it's conjure, it's a spell. It's, it's manifestation, if you want to call it that. Everybody's calling it manifestation. And stop calling this thing new age, honey, because new age is Christianity. But I digress, okay? So I called my mama, right? Because I'm laughing with my sister about it. Because my sister like, yo, she was arguing me down. I'm trying to tell her she doing hoodoo. And I said, nah, don't worry about it. I'm going to call her. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get at it. Because I don't know why. I love fucking with my mama. I love fucking with my mama. I'm telling y'all. So I called and I said, so I heard you was out here doing root work, Ma. She said, what you talking about? What you talking about? No, I ain't. I said, well, I said, I do that all the time, I do that all the time. Let me cover this water, y'all. I said, I do that all the time. I write prayers down. I anoint them and, pray over them, and I burn it and stuff and send it up to heaven too. I might send it down to the pits of hell if that's something I need to do, right? If that's something I need to do, I'll flush it out the toilet. You know what I'm saying? I said, so y'all sending prayers up to heaven through burning y'all paper. I said, I do that too. I ain't doing no hoodoo voodoo. I said, Mom, they not the same thing. And I said, hoodoo is married with Christianity. It had to be hidden. I don't want to hear. I rebuke it in the name of Jesus. I rebuke it. I was like, okay, I'm just saying. I just try to let you know. Because I want you to know what you doing when you doing it. Because y'all do too much listening to the pastor. Too much. Without doing no research and looking up what it is that you're doing. Because then you wouldn't be allowing the pastor, or you wouldn't be taking that in and living by the fact that the pastor says either to go to somebody that's a root worker or a soothsayer, as they say, or a spiritualist, because y'all got the prophet, psychic, y'all got the root worker, blessed oil, praying over your stuff and burning it, y'all got the the healer, laying hands, y'all got the mountain of the spirit, catching the Holy Ghost. Y'all got praise and worship and conjure, calling the spirit of the living God here. Calling the spirit, say, I want the Holy Spirit to come in this place. The spirit of the living God. When you say that, you are conjuring the spirit of God. But you ain't hear that from me. Okay? Love y'all. But anyway, y'all. But that's all I got for today. But that's what I wanted to speak on. I want to hear y'all's input. I want comments down below, guys. Interact with me. I'm not bougie. We're not like that. We're not bougie over here. Honey, I'll see you guys soon. Until next time, see you soon. Peace.